Hello, I am Carl Thomas. This is your daily devotion for June 9th, 2023. Thanks for joining us today. Today in our reading, we have Psalm 50, Lamentations 3, and Acts 28. If you want to read along, there's a link in the whether you're listening to this or you're watching this video, maybe the Lord brought you on this video somehow. Every day, we do a devotion between just 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, based on the lectionary reading, which I believe is the best reading plan to follow. Teaches the whole Bible, parts you probably don't read, and it lets you know how the Bible comes together. Today, we are going to continue in our study again with Psalms 50, Lamentations 3, and Acts 28. And today, God is telling people, get up, get right, and do something, right? So we see in Psalm 50, and we had seen this yesterday. In Psalm 50, God, he starts this, a reading in verse 7, "Hear, O my people, and I will speak." Now this "hear, O my people," it is the same beginning as what's called the Shema. "Hear, O Israel, the Lord your God, the Lord is one." It is the central prayer to the Jewish people, showing that there is one living God. There's one, and he is the God of Israel. And God is kind of reminding his people, hey, hear, O my people, and I will speak. Now, this is spirit word power. We need the spirit, we need the word so we can have the power. God is saying in his word here, you got to listen. We want to see the power of God in our lives, but we have to listen. We have to listen to what God is speaking. We have to understand his written word so we can understand his spoken word, so we can do, we can experience, we can walk in the power of God. He's like, listen, your offerings and all these things that you're sending, like you think you're accomplishing something, but all these sacrifices that you're sacrificing, he tells them, every beast of the forest is mine. You're not impressing me with this. Like this isn't what I want. And when we go to Lamentations, as we read it in the New Living Translation, let's take a look. He says, instead, let us examine our ways. Let us turn back to the Lord. Let us lift our hearts and hands to God in heaven and say, we have sinned and rebelled, and you have not forgiven us. This is what God really wants. He's like, yeah, your sacrifices, I see what you're doing, and I know you think you're accomplishing something. But what I'm really looking for is for you to turn your heart to me. Because when you turn your heart to me, then I can live with you. I can protect you from the evil that wants to consume you. But not only that, I will anoint you to touch other people. I will anoint you to carry my anointing. In the third passage today in our lectionary reading is this Acts 28 reading, which you know well. Paul is on this ship and they're sailing, and then things start to happen and times start to go bad, and they are like, what in the world are we going to do? The ship goes on the shore, it crashes, nobody dies, and then this scorpion is on Paul's hand, and everybody looks at Paul and says, look, he didn't die in the storm, but God's going to kill him. And then Paul shook off the scorpion in the fire, and everybody was like, oh, wow, we know God is with you. The power of God is with you. Because they knew if you have your heart right with God and you are obeying his word, then the anointing of God will be on you and the blessing will go with you. And the fact that Paul was protected from this scorpion was their proof that he was walking with God. And this is what God is speaking to you today. This is what God is speaking to us today. We need to get up out of our sin. We need to get right with God. We need to listen to what he says and then go walk in the blessing. That's us today. I hope this was a blessing to you. Go ahead and like and subscribe, share it with somebody, and God bless you. I will talk to you again tomorrow.